But I mastered their styles like the 5 deadly venom. So all he had to do was get next to a nigga like that, he could destroy it.
Believe in that, real. We plan to take the same strategy we use with Death Row West, mind over matter, taking all our weaknesses and making it into our strength. That all these people talk about an East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago, because we've been beat these. It's not a game.
100% proof of what I've been telling you guys, that promoter Eddie Hearn is creating his own narrative with Deontay Wilder versus Dillian Whyte. Has to be next. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. This video doesn't have to be too long. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. I ain't a killer, but don't put Hennessy. Riding on an enemy. I return as Egoveli. I love LA, California love. Listen, I return as Egoveli. Y'all press me to the limit. You push me to the brink. Now I gotta get you. Now I've made my thoughts known about this whole Wilder versus Dillian Whyte situation. The number one priority, if Joshua passes Parker, if he gets past that unification, should be Joshua versus Wilder. Boxing needs an undisputed champion. I've been very clear about that on my channel. But this hasn't come, you know, we got Ego's army. They riding. We got a lot of soldiers. We got shooters in the live streams. But this has not come. It came at a consequence. There is still some resistance for the other side. Now, check the link in the description. This is 100% proof of what I've been telling you guys. That Eddie Hearn, he wants to be the Geppetto and manufacture and guide the fights that he wants to fight to build up Joshua Wilder if it's inevitable. If Wilder gets past Dillian Whyte and AJ gets past Povetkin or Gerald Miller, he wants to be in total control. Maybe he's trying to set up, if Dillian Whyte can play spoiler and beat Wilder, an AJ versus Dillian Whyte rematch unification. Because if Dillian Whyte beats Wilder, then he'll take Wilder's belt. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's over in the UK. So there's a lot of different options. But once again, link in the description. Shout out to Boxcaster. They just uploaded the interview with Mauricio Sulaiman of the WBC. And it's very short. I'd advise you to check it. 100% proof of what I am saying as of today, right? The WBC president, Mauricio Sulaiman, said in this interview, which you guys can watch, don't get mad at me for something you could see visually, something you can hear. Unless you're Helen Keller, Amelia Earhart, you should be able to comprehend this. So this 100% unequivocally supports what I've been saying. And the question was, why doesn't Wilder get a lot of fanfare? And basically, Sulaiman had a good answer. He said that's going to come with time. He's proven over and over again he wants to fight the best. But here's the kicker. He was asked about what's next for Wilder. Does he have to do a mandatory? And in this interview, I'm just going to paraphrase. You guys can listen to it. I set you guys up for success, so I don't have to babysit and quote every word he said. But go watch it. The link is in the description. Sulaiman specifically tells you that Wilder just fought a mandatory, BERMANE STIVERNE in a rematch, and then he just fought against Luis King Kong Ortiz. So we want the best fights. The WBC wants the best fights for the fans, right? So there's nothing standing in Deontay Wilder's way of a unification. So if Joshua retains his belt with Joseph Parker, he says we're not going to stand in the way of that. He could do a voluntary fight. He could do a unification. We're not going to force him into a mandatory situation. So everything Eddie Hearn has been saying over there in the UK, all these interviews, your bum drop and all this, and Wilder's a geezer. You're hearing it from the WBC that they haven't even mandated the #1 guy. I think Dillian Whyte is ranked #1. Dominic Brazil might be ranked #2 with the WBC. He said that Wilder just got past his mandatory, so we're not going to stand in the way of a unification, which means if Joshua beats Parker, which remains to be seen March 31st on Sky Sports and Showtime Boxing in America, check it out, then there's nothing standing in the way. They told you, the WBC, like I've been telling you, says we'll bow out gracefully and not push a mandatory situation upon Wilder, i.e. Dillian Whyte. We want the best fights for the fans, the biggest fights, etc. So Wilder is free if he chooses to go that unification. So it's really up to Eddie Hearn. You gotta do something, baby. The Dillian Whyte, again, if they make the fight, it's probably gonna be in lieu of AJ deciding to fight someone else like Povetkin or Gerald Miller at the Barclays. So if Wilder wants to at that point fight against Dillian Whyte, that's fine. But the WBC is telling you on camera in an interview, which is linked in the description, that we will not stand in the way. He's free to do his next move as he sees fit. So it's really on Team Joshua to win this Saturday, and it's on Eddie Hearn to make that fight if Joshua does in fact win, since he oversees the career. The WBC, you can't use them. You can't use this Dillian Whyte. This is why Wilder didn't come to the UK. He told you. He says they trying to manufacture a fight with me and Dillian Whyte and hype that up. We trying to go after the guy that knocked out Dillian Whyte. That's basically what he's saying. We're going after AJ. So what's the latest excuse for the fans who are clinging on and saying that Dillian Whyte beat Lucas Brown and now he's his mandatory? The WBC's on tape telling you what it is. Let me know your thoughts. Checkmate. Egoveli, still I rise. MOB, we still ride no. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.